Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. So today we are doing, let me shut this, sorry. So we are going to take a look at some of my favorite products that are all under £5 or $5. So yeah, that's it basically. I have a bit of everything and these are extremely affordable. I'm very fussy when it comes to affordable products, as I am with high-end products. If it's shit, right? But these are some of my absolute favorites because they work and actually do what they should be doing. Just before we get into this video today, I want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, and that is Skillshare. Now, you know by now I've done so many things on Skillshare. So I've been trying to learn like different things that are kind of like a little bit kind of to do with my job and kind of not. But Skillshare came in like extremely handy the other week because I was having troubles with my camera. Now, I changed my background, and because there's a lot of light behind me, the camera kind of wasn't focusing on me. It kept going lighter and darker. I do not know anything about cameras. I just have it here and I turn it on and I press record. But it is part of my job to use this camera and to give you guys kind of like the best video quality I can give you. I was Googling things, I was doing all this stuff, and I didn't know quite how to I didn't know what was going wrong, so how could I search for what I wanted, you know? And then it came to my mind, I've done like how to read stories on Skillshare, how to create this, how to be good at TikTok. I was like, why would they not have something to do with cameras, right? So I searched my camera in Skillshare and I found a class, and it starts off with the basics. And basics might seem, well, basic for me, but really I just, like I said, I just press record and that's it. And this is by John Anderson, who's a filmmaker. There's a part 1 which has about 10 lessons, a part 2 which has about 6, which is what I'm on now. It covers stuff like aperture, ISO, white balance. I knew they existed, but I didn't know what they were before I actually did it. So I'm incredibly thankful for this course, and I can't wait to put into action what I've learned with my camera. And it's extremely helpful to know that is there for me and that I can go back to it when I need to kind of refresh my mind a little bit also. So there really is a bit of everything for every kind of need. Someone out there knows something, and most likely there's a class for it on Skillshare. I think I've been using Skillshare for about 5 months now, I want to say, and not only has it been fun to learn new stuff, but it's been extremely practical. And I wish I thought about the practicality part first. Oh, can I do a lighting? Is there one for lighting? Bear with. There is studio lighting photography. Yeah. So that's me next. So if you are interested in taking classes in something to advance your knowledge in something you're maybe already doing, or learn something completely new, then Skillshare is the place to go. There are thousands of classes on there taught by really incredible, knowledgeable people. The classes are all super easy to take in your own time, so you can really fit it in around whatever you're doing right now, you know, work or school. Oh my god, there's be a dog portrait one. I'm gonna take pictures of my dogs. Techniques for capturing oh my god, I wish I looked into that lighting sooner. Okay, you're gonna see pictures of my dogs. And of course, as usual, the first 1,000 people who use my link down below in the description box to sign up for Skillshare will get a 1-month free trial. Thank you so much again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and back to me. Let's get straight into it and let's get into our first product. I haven't got any brow products because I just can't find a really good affordable brow product that doesn't smudge, that doesn't look, you know. So anyway, okay, let's go into our first product. This is the e.l.f. Putty Primer. Now, I really like these. I know a lot of people have an issue with them. They find them quite dry, but here's the deal. Eye primers need to be a little bit drier, unless you have like super dry eyelids, then you should use one that's more of that slippy, like clear base. But eye cream. I know some skincare people are like, eye cream isn't necessary. Some people love eye cream. I like eye cream in terms of prepping for makeup because it's a cream for your eyes. and it's just the right amount of moisture and the right amount of hydration for that area that doesn't interfere with your eye makeup. So here's the secret here. Finger holding it in the eye primer, and I'm just going to warm it up. It needs to be a little bit warmer just to make it a little bit more smoother, a little bit more movable. And I'm going to tap onto my eyelid very gently. I'm not being like aggressive in any way. And that way we're going to get a smooth base that doesn't interfere with the texture of our eyelids. Now, these eye primers work just as well as any high-end eye primers. I always say that these are not just because of the shades that are available, but they're almost like exactly the same as the MAC paint pots. The MAC paint pots are perhaps maybe a little bit smoother in terms of texture. They're a little bit more, I guess, of a softer cream, whereas this is a little bit harder, but they do exactly the same thing. You wouldn't be able to tell if you're wearing a paint pot or the e.l.f. putty primers. This is a shade cream and it's quite a fleshy shade. I'm just gonna make sure I can get close up to my brow because I don't know how high I'm taking up my eyeshadow today. What am I doing for eyeshadow? Oh yeah. This isn't gonna crease either. This does not crease. So it's like the perfect amount of what it is. Oh, my camera's in the wrong position. Bear with me 1 second. That's better. Okay, sorry about that. No one probably noticed what I noticed, but I did. Okay, so eyeshadows next. I talk about these a lot because these are, but it still blows my mind that these exist and are the price they are. These are these e.l.f. mini eyeshadow palettes. They're about £3, $3 each, and they're just incredible. Pigmentation is amazing. They blend beautifully. They work really well together, and they're just really, really amazing eyeshadows. You could, I mean, get like £15, $15, and you have loads and loads of colors. Oh, that's, I think there's only one more e.l.f. product after this. There are other brands. This isn't just all e.l.f. So to me, what makes a really good, affordable eyeshadow is one, an eyeshadow that actually comes out pigmented and actually blends really nicely. I find with some affordable brands, they're very hit and miss. You can either get the ones that work really well and blend really nicely, or you get the ones that are kind of like crappy, you know, like you can get better from AliExpress kind of situation. I'm taking this quite high because we're cut creasing today. And even for like a pastel, look how great this is coming out in terms of a color. Like, I think that's just, you know what I mean? I think it's just an incredible pigmentation for what it is. I just love it. Oh, what is this one called? Mint to Be. So I just used this one. I'm going to go in with this darker green. Okay, just gonna leave that there for now. This isn't a product I've used a lot on my channel in either way. I think I've used them once or twice. But when you start to build up this ridiculous amount of makeup, which is so stupid, you forget you have a lot of stuff. You know it's there, but you constantly want to try new things. So we're gonna go in today with the Beauty Creations color-based primers. These are really, really great. These are eye primers but color. I think they are quite fluid like, so I wouldn't use them as my first base. I prefer something on me a little bit drier, but I think blended out quite sheer they would do really well. However, if you want to build up the color quite thick, maybe not so much. I have this one, or I have this green. Let's do this green because this might fade. No, let's see what happens. Let's use this brighter one for now. This is called Fresh Aqua. So these are really, really great for creating those graphic liner looks if you want to, cut creases, or if you just want to do like a wash of color on the lid and blend it out completely, and then maybe add a glitter on top, or a, what's it called? What's that called? Fuck me. Gloss. Okay, I thought I cleaned my cut crease brush, so I'm gonna have to use this one, which I'm sure will be fine. But it might not be as precise as I want it. That's fine. We can make it work. So what I do with this is I apply it and then I shouldn't talk. And then I let it dry down a little bit and then pat it down and then go over it again, because it will crease a tiny bit where I'm using such a concentrated amount of a product. Okay, so I just did this side. I was just talking to my partner. Our dog is at the vet and there's just gonna be an update. So I'm do this one again. Okay, try and get it symmetrical because I was only going to do a little cut crease, but for some reason I started like following it through. So as I'm doing this side, I'm just checking on this side and I just keep patting it down as it gets a few tiny little creases. I really don't think it would crease if you use a small amount, but because I really want the color to be quite solid, it is getting some like solid little lines. Okay, so that's that. I think my symmetry is going to be slightly off today because I'm tired. Okay, let's go back into this palette, and what I want to do is take the darker green again, fill in this outside corner, and just gently fade that into this. Can you see where it's starting to crease again? I'm just going to go back in with this brush. This is why you shouldn't use too much eye primer like this as your eye base. This spread out would be really nice. You can see it kind of blends out into a nice color anyway, but for a cut crease, I do like to have it very heavy contrast of color. And then I'm going to take the green on the end right here. And it's just going to press that over the edge of the two, the darker shade and the cut crease thing. Okay, so for our concealer, I'm just going to go in with these e.l.f. the Hydrating Flawless Brightening Concealer. I don't see these a lot, and I think these are severely underrated, especially now coming into like this phase where people are trying to do like a little bit more natural makeup. These are really, really good. Okay, so for our foundation, you've seen me talk about this so much, but I still absolutely love it. This is the Rimmel Kind and Free foundation. Now, this is a weird one because I see it some places on sale for about £2, and then I'll see it on other places for about £9. So I'm guessing that, you know, it's somewhere in between. I don't know if it's going to be too pale for me now, but it's the only shade I have, and we can make it work, right? We can just bronze it up. But I just love this. I always say it. I know you guys are probably like, yeah, we know, you said. It is the best, one of the best. Probably actually, you know what? I would say it's the best. And then the other one I like, which is the L'Oreal True Match, comes in second. And the reason this one's first, I think it's just because of the finish. It looks really, really natural on the skin. Yeah, it's slightly too pale for me at the moment, but, you know. Living in England, I'm sure my tan will disappear in the next few weeks. I blame that on Brexit. No, I'm joking. Yeah, very pale, but a beautiful foundation. One thing I would say about this though, which I did notice only when I did a kind of like this versus a high-end product, is that this one will kind of show up quite porous skin. Like for example, my nose, it shows up the texture quite a bit, and on the apples of my cheeks it shows up the texture quite a bit, but if you mattify those areas it doesn't look as bad. Okay, let's talk about bronzer. This is actually it says it's a blush, but this is from Colourpop. This is called Bankroll. It's just a really, really nice one. Oh, the thing's lasted quite a while. You can see it's faded a tiny bit. It says blush, but to me it's bronzer. Colourpop at the moment do have some incredible bronzers. Their newer ones especially are really, really nice. I just couldn't find my one. The matte bronzer, really, 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 really nice. And the shade I used actually, it was almost like contoury rather than bronzy, which was nice. But I don't know what they're doing. Colourpop, yes, they do release a lot of stuff, but these bronzers at the moment I'm really, really liking. It's nothing too crazy, it's nothing over the top, it's bronzer, and that's it. And that's life. Okay, blush. This is from Beauty Bay. Beauty Bay's own formula. Everything I just love. I just think it's amazing. This is a shade Peachy, so obviously it's peachy. But they just have like their formulas down. I would love to know if they share their formula with anyone, like if any other brand has a similar formula, because it feels like a high-end quality in terms of pigmentation, in terms of finish, but really, really extremely affordable. And they do have quite good sales on Beauty Bay as well, where their own products go on sale. And if you can grab their eyeshadow palettes, then it's a good deal. It's a really good deal. I always forget about these highlighters, and I'm just always blown away by this one every time I use it. And this is the Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighter. These are insanely beautiful. They are so stunning. Very, very pigmented. So if you want something that's quite strong, here, look at this. Ooh. And this is a really, really good one to go for. They are so... Oh no, this is the wrong shade. Oh shit. They are heavily, heavily pigmented and they just have the most incredible glow to it. Look at that. Look at that. And I always do this like number 7 here. Take it from right under your eye and background. And then I'll take like a clean brush and then buff that in. Okay, so like I said earlier, I do find with more affordable products, they do need mattifying in some areas. And one product I'm always so impressed with is the NYX HD Finishing Powder. This is really, really nice because it's really soft. It's not heavy, it doesn't look cakey, and it literally just mattifies, does its thing, does what it needs to do. If you live your life on screen, it blurs a little bit on screen. I've lost a bit of coverage here on my nose, that's fine. Okay, and for the lips, we are going to go in with the Essence Hydrating Nude Lipstick. I was so pleasantly surprised with Essence as a brand when I did a full face of Essence, and this was one of the ones I was really, really liked because it blocked out my lips completely, and it just had this really smooth, like buttery kind of finish to it. I just love it. I just love like fleshy lips. I know it's such an old-fashioned thing now, but I love colors like this because then I can go on top with a gloss, and this is the oh my god, lash glue on it. Ooh. And this is a So Glassy lip gloss from Colourpop, and it just adds that nice creamy shine. But I want to put this gloss on top of a nude, but I also want it to not have color. So if it's like completely flesh, that's great. If I just put it right on top of my lip, it kind of just looks pink and glittery because my lips get so pink with product on. I love that color. I just think it's so nice with that gloss on top. It's beautiful. Okay, let me whack on some lashes. I don't have any drugstore lashes because there aren't any I like. If there are any drugstore lashes that you like, do let me know below because I would like to try some. Put some lashes on, I'll be right back. And here we are, a finished full face of products that are £5 and under, $5 and under, and that one that's like occasionally $5 and under. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to know your favorite affordable products below. I'll also have all the products linked down in the description box for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please consider liking this video and subscribing, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.